can't see if you're in it or not.
Yeah, I think it's this. It's good enough. Sorry. Alright guys, I'm here with my sister Gabrielle for our podcast today. I chose to sit down with my sister basically because she's a bit of an inspiration to a lot of our members here at Hybrid. She has been working her butt off through both pregnancies now and kept really consistent all the way through, which is awesome to see. So please welcome Gabrielle. You can say
Hi.
she's a bit nervous, doesn't know what she's doing, as do I, but basically I think you have a lot of value to offer those listening and our members, and basically just share your experiences through your pregnancies and how it was for you and the benefits and that type of thing. So with Nixie, who is how old now?
Just gone 2.5.
2.5 years old. Yeah, so 2.5 years ago you fell pregnant, and what was running through your head at that time?
I'm pregnant.
Shit.
In terms of working out, or
Yeah. Well, everything.
I was excited, obviously. It wasn't an accident. We were trying for a baby. I did know that when I fell pregnant, I wanted to try and keep working out and staying fit for both myself and the health of my baby, I guess. Yeah, it's just like I knew that that's what I wanted to do, and also probably for because I like to work out for my mental health as well, so continuing to do that
And
was a goal.
I know you've been training for a few years prior to falling pregnant. Were you worried how much it was going to affect you, or how did you take that? Were you nervous about exercising, or?
I don't think I was, because I just, I think I'm pretty good at listening to my body. I was more kind of like, I had to not necessarily take everything that I read like the gospel, because there's a lot of stuff out there that might say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, but it felt completely normal for me to do it. So the stuff that I read was saying like, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. But then if I was doing it, I felt totally fine. And then when I started to feel that my body wasn't coping with certain exercises, then I would listen to my body and not do them.
And how did you cope with the loss of performance, or did you feel you lost performance? Because I know, as I said, you'd worked really hard up until that point, so you'd achieved some great things. Mentally, I know it's a bit hard to take when you see performance dropping.
Yeah.
How did you control that or deal with that?
Yep, it's annoying. And it's happened again with Marlo. Obviously you're not lifting as much weight and stuff throughout the pregnancy, and then you've kind of given birth and your body is slowly getting back to what it was, but you can't. It's basically like starting all over again. But at least you've got the kind of muscle memory and technique already, so it is probably quicker than starting completely fresh, if that makes sense. But yes, it is annoying, but you just have to be accepting of what your body has achieved by giving birth, and also accepting that it's going to take time.
And do you feel it's about the same or different with the second one in terms of recovery and getting back to where you were, or you're not at that stage yet? Or?
No, I think it's probably like my body feels a bit more able this time, because I think it had a lot to do with the labour. My first child, Nixie, was a really long, drawn out labour. It went over 3 days. So So, and she
Pretty
came
impressive.
out with like a bruise on, like all over her head like that. So she was obviously like pushing down for quite a while, and so I felt like,
Traumatized your body a bit.
yeah, it kind of, yeah. And he came out in 1 hour from start to finish.
Yeah, so very different.
So totally different. And it's like my body feels like it's recovering quicker with
With Marlo.
Marlo.
Yeah. And in terms of both pregnancies, when you were training during the pregnancies, what exercises for people that maybe don't have access to a gym, just training at home, did you feel were quite good and useful and didn't cause disruptions? I know everyone's different, but for you personally, what exercises did you feel you could continue doing through the whole pregnancy, or the majority of it at least?
I found like if I wasn't working out here, walking was a massive thing. Like it sounds like walking, but it does help a lot. And also after giving birth, it's the one thing that you can do like
Straight away, yeah.
straight away. Like a lot of the weight training you can. Well, I found that I could still do, but it just dropped off the closer I got to the due date.
Full term, yeah.
And like obviously in the beginning, like the first 3 months, I was fine doing like high impact exercises, but then as I got bigger, I didn't feel comfortable doing it, and so I wouldn't do it like jumping, running, all that kind of stuff.
I think it's important for the listeners to understand that Gabrielle was training prior to the pregnancy for how many years?
A few, 3, 4, 3.
3, 4 years. So she was able to perform these exercises, whereas I wouldn't recommend that you go out there, I don't know if you agree, based on your experience, but to then start lifting weights after the pregnancy, you're better off to start at a level where you're at. Gabrielle or others are able to do that in our gym that have had pregnancies because they've been training for years and got that foundation. I think that's really important to know. On the flip side, what were exercises that you felt were the first to go or you didn't feel comfortable with?
Surprisingly, for both pregnancies, for me, one of the first exercises to drop was pull-ups. I don't know if that's like a normal thing, but I just felt like pulling up, like you've got to kind of brace your abs and stuff, and I couldn't.
Did you feel you had the control
Yeah.
to do it? Yeah. And
I
how did
felt
you
like
deal
it was
with
like
that?
too much pressure on the pelvic
Pelvic floor?
Yeah.
Pelvic floor. So how did you do it? What exercise did you do instead?
Well, I started using a band again, then the band got thicker, and then as I got bigger, then I just started doing the ring road things,
Okay.
which felt totally fine. Box jumps, I just started doing step-ups, sit-ups. What was I doing? Sit-ups.
You found them uncomfortable straight away?
Not straight away, no, but as I got bigger.
Yep.
And then like things like deadlifts and stuff, I pretty much went down to just using a bar, really. So it was like
Just moving
just
the
moving.
joints.
Yeah.
And did you find that beneficial or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than not doing anything.
And how was your recovery and sleep during and after the pregnancies, I guess? Or how is it? Obviously it's affected with the little one, waking up and everything, and breastfeeding. It's strenuous on the body. But during the pregnancy as well, whilst training?
I was fine. It actually probably helped with the sleep a lot. But I struggled a lot in the last 3 months with both of them, with like really bad indigestion and just uncomfortable sleeping and stuff. So
Did your training drop off then as well, or you were able to manage it?
Slightly. I think I stopped training probably maybe 6 weeks or something before maybe